Maybe you have heard about the benefits of opening your mind, but what does it mean? What is in it for an entrepreneur? And the most important matter of all, how do I know if I have an open mind? Stay watching this video and find out the answers. Kodak was the company who led the world of photography on the photography market almost the entire 20th century. They created wonderful cameras for those times in which there were no smartphones or internet. Photography on those days was printed and rolls of film were used. That after taking the photos were processed to print the photos on paper. And the truth, Kodak's biggest source of income was precisely in the sales of film reels or rolls in various formats and sizes. But Kodak couldn't adapt with the advent of digital photography, which immediately became the preferred form to take photos for its higher quality and immediacy. Don Strickland, former vice president of Kodak, recalled in an interview that they developed the first digital camera, but they didn't get approval to sell it for fear of the effects on the sales of photographic rolls. Kodak wasted the opportunity to lead the digital photography revolution. That was, remember, Steve Sasson, Kodak engineer and inventor of the first digital camera back in 1975. His invention didn't require the roll, and the management reaction was very clever, but don't tell anybody. In other words, Kodak was unable to identify and leave a disruptive technology. They filed for bankruptcy in 2012 because of what? A closed mind. Kodak's story is just one of the many sad cases of companies that don't know how to adapt to market changes and dare to innovate. Happy present moment and welcome to Jeanette Salvatierra TV. I am your hostess, Jeanette Salvatierra. We know that change creates uncertainty, but we also know that most of the time change is unavoidable. So we better prepare ourselves to accept change intelligently. Open-mindedness is very important to achieve acceptance or adaptation to new circumstances. Opening the mind implies precisely give yourself the opportunity to explore, decide, and act. Explore new options of obtaining information, conducting tests. Decide on a new course of action, a strategy that leads you to achieve your goals based on the result of your exploration, that is to say, following on the best option of all that you study. And finally, act, performing the tasks or activities that correspond to the chosen strategy. But how do I open my mind? Well, was I born with an open mind, or it can be learned? Before answering these questions, I want you to invite you, if you haven't done it yet, to subscribe to this channel, to your channel to grow as an entrepreneurial woman and achieve your personal and business goals. Activate notifications by clicking on the little bell. And if you like this video, please leave us a thumbs up, a like, and share it with your friends, family, and colleagues. Also, you can always leave us your opinion in the comment section below. This helps us tailor the content to what you need to achieve success in your business and be a happy and fulfilled woman. I told you that the open mind is the first step to start the process of change. As entrepreneurs, it is important to know so much about our open-mindedness as well as how to open the mind of others, for example, our customers, to influence them to act, buying our products or services. The good news is that one, we can modify our own open-mindedness, and two, we can influence our audiences to open their minds and consider our brands. In the book Think Again, Adam Grant, Doctor of Organizational Psychology and an academic at the Wharton School of Business, I found an interesting classification on the open-mindedness of people. It is very simple and offers keys to understand open-mindedness styles and how to use it in relationships and in business. The styles are four, and in our daily lives, we often act as preachers, judicial prosecutors, politicians, and scientists. One can behave or use these four types of open-mindedness, and in some cases, one of those styles is predominant over the other three. Psychologists have found that we go into preacher mode when we defend our point of view as a sacred value. In prosecutor mode, when we try to win an argument at any cost. In politician mode, when we campaign to obtain the approval of an audience, that is to say, our position depends or adapts to that of the majority. And in scientific mode, when we seek the truth, that is, when we search for information not only to be right, but also to determine if we don't have valid reasons or we are wrong. These mental modes affect our ability to question our own opinions and to open other people's minds. Preaching and prosecution can be effective approaches to open the mind of others when people have no firm opinions and when they don't care deeply about the subject. However, when we assume the preacher mentality or the judicial prosecutor one, you run the chance of disturbing people with the deep belief or ideas on topics that matter to them. These modes can also leave us so determined to prove that we are the ones who are right and the others wrong that we close ourselves to change, and we are under the risk of not adapting and failing. When we are in political mode, we are most focused on generating support and more willing to revise our beliefs. But the danger is that we look like hypocrites and that we change our mind at the wrong time or for the wrong reasons. This is in scientific mode, in which we gain mental flexibility. We look for reasons why we could be wrong, not just reason why we can be right. And we review our opinions based on what we learn. That puts us in a better position to help others learn too and adapt to change. In what way or mentality do you usually operate? As a convinced preacher? As a controversial prosecutor? As an adaptive and a democratic politician? Or as a curious scientist? Every modality of open-mindedness has its own advantages and disadvantages. Although the open-minded science seems to be the most convenient, you also have to be careful about don't getting lost in the scientific on the scientific reasoning and deviate from your original goal. If you're curious to find out in what mode you operate, below this video I will leave you the link to the online quiz offered by Dr. Grant to identify your open-mindedness mode. Thank you for watching. Blessings for you and your business, and we'll meet again soon in an upcoming episode of Jeanette Salvatierra TV. Bye.